I've been so ungrateful.
Bro, they
questioning.
No.
Question what I'm made for. I'm done. Get it off me. Get it off me.
Somebody said, get that boy some auto-tune.
Is that a compliment?
I'm just playing. I'm just playing. All right, my bad. That's fine. Mvstermind is the hometown hero, and I state that with the utmost confidence because it's been blessed that every step of my career and everything has been made for that, man. Like I literally have every ounce of support in this city from the hood to Clayton. Like we were just laughing about that earlier, but it's like we got the support. In the same sentence, when you got an individual who has been struggling through the support and balancing all these different years, and your community had your back, you birthed in somebody who care about their community. You birthed in somebody who's seen so many other people pursuing dreams and hustling and grinding, some not being able to take it to that level, and we still being persistent with it. I'm gonna be that example. I'm gonna take things further. I'm gonna open up some gates in this city. It's I've been raised to do that. But that's me though.
So how did you get your start in rapping, or did you start in producing?
I started off as a producer.
Okay.
I started off as a producer, age of 12. I was making beats on FL Studio, the demo version. Okay. Couldn't save it. But I was so shy back then. Like, I really didn't come into myself until I started rapping, to be honest, because you can't handle, you can't be so fearful if you about to hop on stage, you know what I mean? Right. So I got placed with like, do you want to do this type stuff? And it just shook me out of that personality. I'm not timid and fearful anymore. And when I catch myself, I like to make sure I place myself in situations to where I just scared straight. Be ready for it, but yeah.
That's what's up. So do you remember exactly which beat you rapped over for the first time?
Crazy enough, it was one of my beats.
Okay.
Plug. It was one of my beats, but we used to sit and freestyle to a lot of old Lupe beats. Like that's the era I came in from. Like I first came in from like straight bars, like Lupe. It'd be like Lupe and Wayne's metaphors. Like that was like my mesh. So I would always be rapping over like old Carter 3 beats.
Oh, wow.
And old Lupe beats. Like that was
push Lupe.
Yes. Yeah.
Hey, I know.
Lupe the Gorilla.
Okay, so I saw an interview that your mom was a fashion designer. Is that where you get your sense of style from?
Thanks. Didn't know I have sense of style, guys. No, for real. That's where all the credit is, man. To be honest, you know what I mean. Especially like even with the shoes to an extent, you know what I mean. Like I even took certain inspiration, like with the zigzag stitching on the shoes. Being able to have a family who are creatives is naturally gonna be embedded in you. My dad is a musician, so it's just like that was my DNA.
So your dad's a musician, your mom's a fashion designer, so it's only right that you become artists.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Okay. So you talked about the shoes.
Oh yeah.
A lot of people they might not know that you have a deal with Dr. Scholl's.
Yeah. Okay. That's a blessing, man. It's pretty wild. But yeah, so we have our own shoe with Dr. Scholl's. This is a shoe that I drew. The designer Claude like took it to the whole next level, and I got a chance to see an idea of mine turn into real life. Okay. And to see that happen was surreal, but then to also see people buying these shoes in abundance and supporting, that was like, yo, dog, like, that was everything, man. And for me, it was the true testament and a reminder that, like, whenever you put your mindset to it and you put your actions to it and, like, those are your desires, you can instantly manifest those things. Because in reality, I pulled up to that Dr. Scholl's meeting and I was like, well, beforehand, I was like, 2020, I want to have my own shoe line with Dr. Scholl's. But I walked in with that type of energy in that meeting. I didn't even mention, like, yo, I want to have my own shoes. But, like, it, like, summoned that fast, you know what I mean? Next thing you know, 6 months later, our shoes is there. It was just like, write them goals down, put it in the universe, walk with that energy, you know what I mean? But yeah.
Okay, so I saw an interview you were talking about Red Bull, the partnership with Red Bull. Yeah. So you trying to manifest?
Oh yeah.
Trying to manifest that one?
I'm trying to manifest that even bigger, man. Like Red Bull, the way that Red Bull is set up, there's like different departments and different things of that nature, and a long time ago, I had ran into the Red Bull department here, and I've always made real good friends with them. So, you know, you would see them back in our shows. You would see them pulling up with the big Red Bull truck, would do the freestyle. So I was always able to, like, get in the pull from Red Bull. Like, you know, they had the show at the pageant with J.E. and E40, so Red Bull came through. Red Bull has blessed us so many times. I'm looking forward to take it even further to where, like, you know, the head of Red Bull is writing that check, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, just diving deeper within it, you know what I mean? Because we have the reciprocal worth that is that only makes sense for them to invest in an artist like such, you know what I mean? We're reaching the people, we're doing yada 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 yada. So that's the game plan, though.
So how was it working with E40? Because you know he's really the Bay. He's like, that is the Bay. Like, how was that?
Man, E40 for me, he completely goes down in history because of his independency. Like, slanging CDs out the trunk. Like, he's been grinding and hustling for the longest. He's one of the, like, few artists out here who has passed all of these generations and still has that respect the way he does. He hopping on records and still bodying people. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and he got his complete own style, man. And, like, he's completely the Bay. He's completely his city. When I look at artists like that, it reminds me about my come up and my journey, because, like, that's the support. That's the same type of support that we had. You know what I mean? Like, we could take it back to selling CDs out the trunk. I'm sure that we'll, you know.
It'll get back there one day.
Yeah. Definitely.
So did he give you any pointers? Were you able to talk to him?
Briefly, but it was just like, be persistent. This is what you want to do. Just be persistent with it. That was the major thing.
Okay. So you've had the opportunity to travel across the country.
Yeah, man.
To meet all types of people. What was some of the best advice you've gotten from up-and-coming rappers, especially those that have really put on for their city?
Man, you know, crazy enough, it really goes along the same lines of the persistence and, like, and keep going. But some of the other things were, like, no matter what, like, throughout your journey, you're going to have those times where you just completely feel like, this is it. Like, I don't know if I can actually continue. I don't know if I keep going. Those different kind of things. But those, more than anything, are, like, key identifying factors that you're on the right path, especially if you're able to push past them, you know, like identifying through the doubts and stuff like that. But mainly everybody would say the same thing, like, you just gotta be persistent with your actions, you gotta be disciplined, you gotta be focused. It's like playing a sport, you know what I mean? Like, you gotta have that crazy discipline.
All right. And so I know earlier this year you were named one of the top 20 people for MPR, the Watchlist. Yeah. How did that feel?
It was a huge surprise for me, man. It was a huge surprise. It was humbling, you know what I mean? Like, of course it made me feel good, and it made me feel amazing. To be fully transparent, I'm an artist I've been doing a lot of juggling, a lot of balancing. You know, like, I'm a father, I'm a husband, I'm an independent artist, and so I haven't been able to really get my consistency with my music. And so sometimes it's kind of a bittersweet feeling with that, because I haven't gotten a chance to do that. But the fact that people still believe in what I have put out, and they haven't heard anything on my computer or my hard drive, or the stuff that's like the stuff that makes me feel like I'm top 20 in the world, and I got that recognition, it feels good. And it's a reminder that I need to make sure I do whatever that I can do to ensure my delivery on that promise, let alone to myself, but to my city and everybody else who believe.
I know St. Louis show you love, but what city shows you the most love outside of St. Louis?
Kansas City is really high. Chicago is really high. Atlanta is incredibly high. You got Springfield, incredibly high, in LA. Those are, like, the top cities on my demographics, and yeah.
You ever trying to lead a little?
Yeah, I mean, well,
not in a bad way.
Yeah. In reality, it's like sometimes in this city, you know, I definitely feel like I'm at a ceiling. You know what I'm saying? And it is a blessing that people recognize what I do and they love what I do, and I'm highly regarded in what I do, and it's still, like, you know, in a sense, I'm still an infant of where my growth needs to be, well, of where I desire for my growth to be. You know what I'm saying? And, like, it's going to take for me to go to another city to where I'm the littlest person in the room for me to actually have a true impact upon this city. So those are the kind of things I think about. Because when I go to Atlanta, I'm just like, oh, what? So much to learn, so much for me to understand. When I go to LA, I'm just like, whoa, like so much to soak in. But it's that reminder that like, okay, it's so much more. It's so much more out here in this world, and it's just time. We were built to bring those keys back to the city, so that's what we're gonna do.
Absolutely. So there's a lot of fathers in the industry these days.
Yeah.
Chance the Rapper just took off to be a father.
Yeah.
Do you see that in your future? You're just gonna try to grind it out?
Oh man, I definitely would like to take off, and I would like to map my future. I would like to be able to put myself in a position to where I can map that in there perfectly, to where I can be like, well, you know what? I'm gonna focus on production. I'm gonna just queue up the label. I'm gonna produce these artists. But this time around, I'm not finna be on tour. Yada 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 yada. Set up my life for the things that I want to reciprocate most. And when you see somebody who looks just like you, acts just like you, and you know, it's hard not to reciprocate those things that they need. Because whatever trouble you're running into today is that's your DNA. So it's always ways to be able to strengthen that, because it was either something you lacked as a child to an extent of why you having troubles in any particular area. I don't know. I just always been seeing stuff like that. So it's like, man, I'm gonna do whatever that I can to set him up for continued greatness.
All right. So when do you know you've made it? Like, this occurs, I know all my hard work is like officially paid off.
Man, you know, we have a lot of conversations about this. It's like, you know, what is that success? What is it? And I would say for me, it is when I have been able to achieve a balance of spiritual and mental health, and in a position to acquire some actual wealth. And I state that because, like, I long to have my mental sanity. That's the reason why I juggle so much, because I don't want to be like, oh, I'm going to just run away from my family. I'm going to run away from being happy. I'm going to run away from yada yada. Trying my best to juggle all these things so that I can be firmly rooted mentally on this journey. I plan on having that balance. And I plan on acquiring these funds. These are, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't view money as evil. You know what I'm saying? Money's just opportunities that we never had in this city. Money is helping our youth reach their potential. So I'm gonna get every inch of dollar that I can for my people, for my fam, for my grind, and I'm gonna take care of this. Cause that's the biggest thing.
Right.
That's the biggest thing.
Absolutely.
That's the biggest thing.
This is the big one. Who are you trying to collab with in St. Louis?
No.
And then give me one artist outside of St. Louis that's like the dream collab. Like, this is it. Once we get it, I know I'm taking off from here. Like,
I don't know why I'm stuck, man. Man, it's so many amazing artists in this city though. Like, me and Lucha need to get a record. Me and Pink Caravan need to get a record. I mean, man, on some real stuff, I feel like me and Smino could make a beautiful record. That dude is incredibly talented. He's phenomenally talented. He's insanely killing it. Yeah, dude's cold. I feel like we can make some beautiful stuff, man. Outside the city, let's see. Man, I'm a huge fan of Anderson .Paak. I'm a huge fan of Anderson .Paak. And I act like I just skipped over Kendrick, but I would love to do a record with Anderson .Paak.
and he was here for Loop Fest. Did you get to meet him?
I did not. I did.
Lauren Hill was here that day.
That was back when I was still trying to work on my rapper clout, you know what I'm saying? I don't think we was getting backstage back then.
You have a new single.
Yes.
Ungrateful.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about it.
I thought I heard my phone ring.
I thought I heard that too.
Yeah. Yo, so this new single, Ungrateful. Man, this marks the official start of my consistency in my career, dog. I don't think y'all understand how I feel, but y'all probably do, because y'all been waiting on music. I haven't dropped a project in 3 years, you know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Like, that's crazy. But Ungrateful really sums up all that else feelings, because in reality, I got a whole hard drive of music that I'm ungrateful for. And sometimes I be tripping and like putting myself in weird boxes, and like Ungrateful kind of like helped me detach that mental hold on a lot of different things and just give appreciation to the things that are already giving me appreciation. Sometimes on this journey, you know, we fighting for the future, so we don't pay attention to today. You know what I'm saying? And I wanted to make an emphasis like, man, be present, dog, be present, but still let this be a bop. Like, it's not a, you know, you don't have to sulk that you were being ungrateful, and you don't have to yada yada. Just, you know, it's a bop. You laugh it off, you keep going, and yeah.
I definitely enjoy listening to it. I liked it.
Look at me.
When does the full project come out?
Woo! I have been banned from saying any release dates, but note, the next time I say a release date, it will be honored from my word, from my heart, and my spirit. It will be completely honored, and I mean that sincerely. But that's why I'm quiet.
You banned on release dates?
I don't know what that is. I don't know.
You don't know what? You don't know what that is?
I don't know.
I mean, it's a lot of different things, and you know, I finally have been back in the studio now, so that was a whole nother standpoint. You know, I was juggling a lot of business. I was doing fun. I was building my team, building my infrastructure, and so now that I'm finally in the studio, it's like, and I'm knocking out these songs. It's adding into it, but then in the same sentence, we're independent, and I cannot just drop my project unless I got some thickety stack bands ready to supply it and push it. So that's also a whole nother situation. But I will be dropping music left and right though.
I got you. How important is it for you to stay independent?
It is the most important thing, because sometimes when you spend X amount of $1,000 on this and that, you're like, dang, maybe I need a record deal. When in reality, you know that's not where it's at. When in reality, you know that you can partner with Dr. Shows. In reality, you know you can partner with Red Bull and people who can actually cut checks. So it's like, I want to use this conversation, let alone for myself, as a reminder that that's my top priority. That's my highest priority. I'm talking about my son. I'm talking about my legacy. I'm talking about my family, my city. Boy, Mastermind could blow up, and Mastermind could be broke as that deal by being signed to a record, by being signed to a major. And what would I be able to do? Nothing. I'd be owing money. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I aim to stay independent, and I'm using this conversation to make sure I empower myself to do that. I gotta be. I have to be.
Agree. We talked about manifestation. What's the next partnership you want out here in the universe?
Manifestation, boy.
Yeah, dog. We gonna.
You trying to keep a mum? You gotta put it out there in the universe. You never know.
Put it out there in the universe. But the next shoe may be dropped by
What is that?
You know.
What is that?
Know.
I don't know what this is. I don't know.
That was my child. Like that was my childhood dream. I was like, yo, I'm Puma, yeah. But
you know, they put out a lot of brand ambassadors in hip hop.
Yo, to be very honest, I think Jay-Z just popped up. Man, you know what I'm trying to do though, and I will say that on the camera, is that I will be cultural brand ambassador for the XFL, the new football team we got here, and the new soccer league that we're gonna have. I'm gonna be a cultural brand ambassador for that. I'm gonna make sure that they go to our communities and support our communities and programs. I'm gonna make sure that hip hop is involved. I'm doing that, bro.
Thank you for coming. I appreciate it. I'm definitely a fan of the new single Ungrateful.
Hey, thank you.
Make sure y'all go out and get that.
Hey, streaming every place you can find it is streaming.
Gotcha.
Mastermind with a V. That's Mvstermind. The A is a V. Flip it upside down. That's me. It's an upside down arch. Whatever you want to say it is. Mastermind with a V.